and I just want to say thank you all for doing this. The foundation we're supporting, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, that's a battle I've struggled with personally. And these movies, you know, the stories you've directed, the characters you've emboweled, the things you've written, edited it, and just being a part of in general, it gives hope to so many people, way more than just this theater of loving fans. These stories speak to us, and even though we can't fly, we can fight, no matter who we are. And I just wanted to ask you guys on a personal level, for every one of you, give me a sentence answer. On a personal level, how do you feel knowing that you're part of something that gives hope to so many people that really need it?
It's the greatest honor of my life to be here, to be a part of this, to be included in this, to be a few people's nightmares and all of that sort of thing. You know, it is and has been and will continue to be just absolutely the greatest honor. And I buy every T-shirt that ever comes up for AFSP, and I hope you do too.
I guess for me, we do these things, we make this giant thing, but then to have it have, you know, and I've had the pleasure of having like a lot of, interactions with people who I get to hear their stories and get to understand what they've gone through, just like, you know, has it impacted our families. And, so that sharing for me is incredibly moving and really lets me know that there is not only is there work to be done, of course, but being proud of the work that we are doing and the progress that we are making. You know, there's always it's a hope thing, you know, and I think and I think that is that for me is incredible, again, amazing honor. And I love that you guys enjoy the movie, and then I feel like it's the smallest thing I can do for, because I really, love the outreach that everyone gives, and it's amazing.
I can take both mics. To mimic what's been said, it's an honor. It is, and it's also a great responsibility, I think. For me, I've learned a lot from playing this character. I've learned a lot from the people that have supported this film. It's the culminating phrase that I think encapsulates it best is, I'm not broken and I'm not alone. And in myriad ways, you guys have shown me and one another that you are not alone, and that anything is possible when you put the collective together to go ahead and tackle a problem. And so for anybody out there struggling, for those of you who are struggling now, for those of you who struggled in the past, for those of you who may know somebody who is going through it, just please do your best to iterate and reiterate to them that they are not broken and they are not alone. And make sure that you direct them to the resources like the AFSP that exist out there. Thank you for everything you guys have done.
Thank you very much for what you said. I have a lot of admiration and respect for the bravery it takes and sense of self to stand up and talk openly. I think that's extremely helpful and good. And thank you. And both any association with an effort like this is an honor, certainly, and a kind of a similar way. I could sort of look at my own life, in a lot of different ways, but the truth is, I'm old now, right? And I've done 55 or 60 movies, but the movie the character that people most commonly approach me about in my own first-person experience is undeniable as this character in these movies, and it clearly has an enormous reach and impact on people. It means a great deal to people, and that's, I think, the only appropriate reaction to that is a sort of gratitude and humility. The gratitude that I owe Zach for bringing me into this project, for Chris, what he wrote, Ray, and everyone who worked on this, and to the fans who, without whom it doesn't come to life. And I appreciate and hope it's true that these kind of fables, these stories, that can in ways sometimes we're not even aware of, be moving and meaningful to people. And if that's the case, I would just say I'm humbled.
Well, first, thanks for being so candid about that. Because I relate very deeply to everything you're saying. In this film, every single one of the major characters is dealing with loss. Everyone, Lois, Martha, Diana, Arthur, Barry, Bruce, and so that became the important heart of the film, of how to take in loss, take in the darkness that's trying to pull you down, and to answer affirmatively and to fight back, fight back against it. So all those things, I'm grateful if anyone feels them, because they were deeply felt on the end of us who are making it. I mean, you can't make a movie that has emotion in it unless you have sat alone with those characters and with those thoughts and figured out some of that stuff for yourself. So it makes me really happy if it lands anywhere. So thank you.
I guess for me, I just feel lucky to be asked by my friends Zach and Deb to be a part of this, and the whole journey getting to the end of the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, and the effort of that work. It's very emotional, cathartic. I wish we could do more, because I think there's a lot of story left to tell. But the thing that I kind of take with me is, and everybody's efforts through this organization, is it's my first time yesterday being on the panel and meeting a lot of you afterwards, and I'm inspired by you guys being inspired by what we've done. I think it's, like Ben said, it's a very humbling thing, and something that I think was unexpected for me as a personal note. So thanks everybody for paying attention.
What they said. But yes, go ahead. One of the things that I was doing was restoring a lot of things for Zack that were very important to him in the film, and I keep coming back to the concept of life-affirming and acceptance, and the scene with Wonder Woman where the little girl after the explosion says, "I want to be like you when I grow up," and she says, "You can be anything you want to be." And that concept is something that comes through in everything that Zack does. It's very, very life-affirming. And for me as a collaborator, it was very exciting to be in Zack's orbit and then notice all these badass women all around him. Badass characters, badass producers, badass first ADs, all women who are just embraced by him and really a huge part of the process. And I feel fortunate to be one of those half badass women.
Full badass. Full badass.
Badass.
Half badass. That's funny.